Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv, where we're here to talk about the fantastic Claris and FileMaker platform. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I am here with the wonderful Nick Hunter, uh, who you will have to imagine in all of his glory. He, he is here with us today to continue a wonderful mini-series, which is the manipulating dates and timeframes in FileMaker, which is really cool. We're going to be finishing that series up Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be starting a new mini-series, which will be creating, deleting, and duplicating related records of FileMaker day 1. Tuesday and Wednesday will be day 2 and day 3. I just got Thursday will actually be an open Q&A with Nick. So if you have Nick questions related to literally all of the immense amount of stuff we've covered over like the past several months, now would be the time to bring them. If you're like, I have Nick questions I didn't get dealt with, that would be on Thursday. I think the thumbnail literally just got completed, so it will be put up shortly. And then Friday will be an open FileMaker server Q&A with Jacob Taylor. So bring your server questions or complaints. If you'd like to support the channel, you'd greatly appreciate it. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundle. We have 3 options here. Pick one that best suits you. This is really perfect for if you are like new to FileMaker, want to get into FileMaker, or if your FileMaker knowledge is incomplete, or if you like need a refresh. We cover pretty much everything under the sun to become a competent developer in your own right. So I highly recommend it. If you've bought it already, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. It helps keeps this show running. We do this generally 5 days a week. From 1 p.m. PST to 2 p.m. PST. I had to think about that. I am on the East Coast, so for me it's from 4 to 5. So I'm not sure how I did it because I put it in Dropbox, but I somehow kerfuffled my links. I think I probably had the old one saved. I didn't copy it properly. For Nick's reporting demo, so if you downloaded Nick's reporting demo when I first put the link out, you don't have actually the right sample file. You have a different sample file because I'm brilliant. But it's been fixed now. So I'm going to repost it. So if you want to re-download that reporting demo, now would be the time. So I think we're good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. Thank you for this introduction as well. So today we do the day 2 of the manipulation of dates, right? So I want to first put my screen a little bit larger, and I want to open the file. So today we do the manipulation of dates, right? So we learn how to put how to use the date function, right? Which is everything based on this. The date function has many particularities, and I demonstrated that last week, right? So, and we want to use that date function, right? And at the same time, we want to do cool things, right? So last week I show how to get range of dates, removing dates, days of the week like this, and so we how to get a range of dates and then get records, so that was last week, right? So today I want to do something new, right? I want to do here. We want to do something different. What we want to do, right? We want to use the dates, but we want to create a period. We want to build like a schedule, but the schedule can be monthly or quarterly, right? So we have 2 types of recurrence. So what we want to do, we want to say, okay, 2023, January, right? So we choose the year, we choose the month, we choose the week of the month, and we choose the day. So let's say I want the first, so that's what we want. Choose the year, the month, the week of the month, and the day of the week of the month. So you see here we have some complexity, right? So it's not just, adding a recurrence, quarterly recurrence with the dates. That easy, right? You don't need me for that. But here we have some complexity because I want a year, I want a day, I want a month. Which week of the month and the day of the week. And I want my schedule to land for 3 months like this, like for quarterly, right? Using this pattern. So let's create a period. So this is what I want, right? So it's quarterly, right? So it lands. So what did I say here? In 2023, I said January, right? The first week Monday. Let's check. First week Monday of January. Then 3 months later, it's quarterly, right? First week of April, Monday. Then 3 months later, July, right? So first week of July on Monday. Then October, first week of October on Monday. So let's say I want something else. I want to start in March and the third week on Wednesday, quarterly. So I do this, I create my period, right? So I said the same, right? So this is, let's say if this works, right? We start March, the third week of March on Wednesday. Third week, first week, second week, third week on Wednesday. Here, 1, 2, 3, third week on Wednesday. 1, 2, 3, third week on Wednesday, and third week on Wednesday, right? So now let's say I want something different. Okay. I want monthly. So every month for a year, right? So, and I start in March, right? And let's say I want the fourth week and I want to start on Tuesday, okay? So now it's not quarterly, it's monthly. So it's every month, it's going to create the period every month, right? Start in March. And of course, it will stop in February. But here we have another difficulty, right? As you can see, it's going across 2 years. It starts in 23 and it stops in 24, right? So let's, we know it lands on Tuesday, lands on Tuesday, lands on Tuesday, always, the week 4, the last week, last week. Okay. Always on Tuesday, the fourth week, and that the month. But here, automatically, it has switched to 24. So this is what we are going to learn today, how to do that. Okay? What the magic here, to do something that complex without complexity. Okay? So first, okay, I told you how to get, the month here, to get because we need FileMaker doesn't give a damn about January, February, March, April, May. It doesn't give a damn. Right? It doesn't know. It doesn't know. So we cannot. We need a number for that. We need a number for the month. So to do so, last week, I show you how to do that. We have a list, of the month here. I have a value list with all the month of the year. And then we use a custom function of mine, right? Get value position. We search the strings that we want the month name. And we look that into the value list item, right? And it's month. So we know that March is in position number 3. That means with that function, I can look for like here, if I'm saying this, right? So let's get value position. I'm looking for Nick into a list that is Nick, Marge, and Christian, because I talked to him this morning. So Nick is in position number 1, okay? What is, if I search for Marge, is position number 2, and if I look for Christian, is in position number 3. So I have a list of values, right? And this function tells you, if you look for something, which position it is, okay? So that's a good function, right? So that, and that will get it for free with that file, right? But you have it on many of my files anyway. So the week number, that's easy, and the name of the day, okay? So how we do this? First, we need to isolate the week of that month. So we need to extract the week of that month. So how we do that? Okay. We have this, and we use a function for that, right? We calculate the week range. If I change the week number here and I put 2, this change. If I put 1, this change, right? If I put 2, 3, it change. 4, it change, right? Because and if I change the day, because here if I say 1, it start on the 2nd, yes, because I said Tuesday. If I say Monday, that change, right? It should change, by the way. No. Okay, yeah, no. Oh, because yeah, that's the particularity, but it's okay. Okay, Tuesday. So how we do that, right? To isolate that day. Oh yeah, no. Sorry. I'm going to explain why. Why start a day before? Why start a day before the range? So I mean here, the week start on the 24, but I need to start the date, my range on the 23. I'm going to explain that why. See here, I said the first week of March, that March, the month 3, okay? And it start in February, okay? Like here, if I do the same here, I'm asking it start on the 31st of March, not on the 1st of April, right? So how this week range works, okay? So how I can isolate that week, okay? Here the calculation, okay? So it looks crazy, but it's not, okay? It's just a pure logic, and that's why you must learn how to use the let function, because if you cannot use the let function, right? There's no way you can build something like this, because as you can see, I lay down everything I need, right? I lay down everything I need, okay? And so forget about this for a second, the next year. So I need the current date, okay? I need the current month, right? Which is the month I use here, right? And because I need the current date because I want the year of now, okay? I want the current year, okay? You can change that if you want, but I want the current date. So I'm laying down the current date, right? And then I say I want the current year, which is the year of whatever current date told me, okay? That's easy. So I get the current date, the current month, which I said the current month here. I asked for it, okay? And I want the current year, okay, or the current, okay. And then I need to calculate the week, okay? So I have another custom function of mine that called that range. So how range works, okay? So, I already showed that, but I want to show it again. So the range, you say you want to start with, let's say I want to start with get start dates and end dates, and then it will calculate automatically all the dates between the start date and the end date, right? So that's how the function works. So here, in this auto entry calculation, I define my starts. And to define my start, I use the date function. So the date function is articulated like this. I need a month, a day, and a year. So I have my current month. My current month is whatever I ask here, okay? Then I have the day. I don't care the day, I don't really care the day. I need to start from the first anyway, I'm starting from the first, of the month. I need that because actually we are going to calculate a month. We are going to calculate a whole month, okay? That's what we are going to do. Calculating a whole month, okay? Then I want the current year. Forget about this for now. So for the first of the current year, and I'm subtracting 1, okay? I need to get to a day before. So that's why I'm starting at the end of the month before, okay? Then I'm calculating forget about this for now. I calculate the ends, okay? We need the end here. Okay, so this is where it starts to be a little bit hairy. I need to calculate the year, okay, that the date is going to return, because otherwise I will never be able to calculate the next year. You remember? I told you we have the next year stuff, the tag next year, this tag next year here. So I need to calculate the year. So the year is whatever, okay, the start date plus 32. Okay, why 32? Okay, so I need to calculate if the next month is next year. You understand? This is how we do. I need to calculate if the next, if my next month will be next year. That's why I'm adding 32. Because 32, so I'm taking the start dates, right? And I'm making a range from the day start plus 32 days. And I'm getting the year of the last day. So let's decipher this for a moment. Okay. So let's start. Yeah, I can do this. Okay. So if I'm saying let's say get as date, I want the 12 1 2023, right? And I'm taking this plus 32. So I'm landing in 24. So this is how you calculate the next year based on a range like this, okay? So I'm extracting the year, and because I'm getting something like this, I'm getting something like this, right? I'm adding 32 days to make sure that, to make sure that I have all, to make sure I'm getting on the next month, okay? Then on this, I'm extracting the right value of this, right? Which is the 2nd of January of 2024. And I'm extracting the year of this, right? So I'm going to come back on this anyway, but I want to follow up a little bit. So I have the end year, right? So I know now when this will land, so I know that the date will be next year, okay? Or not, depending on how it lands. Then I'm calculating the end, so that the start and that the end of my week. Remember, I want to get the week of a month. Okay. So I'm extracting the current month, right? +1, so I'm going next month, right? Of the year I calculated here. And I'm subtracting 1 because I want to be at the end of the month. Here, I'm starting at the last day of the month before. And here, I want to land to the exact end date of the month. And you remember, I told you how to do that, right? So you said current month +1, you go next month, and then you subtract 1 day, right? Okay. So we can the best way would be to do like this, right? And then we can decipher that calculation. So I'm there. So tag next year, I'm here, I'm in period. Okay, tag next year, current date, current month. So which one is missing? Oh, week number. Okay. So I have my current date, that's easy. I have my current month, that's easy. And I have my current year. Okay. Then I have my start date, my end year, and my end date. So I'm starting on the 31st of March, and I end on the 30th of April because that April has only 30 days. Then I get the week number. I wanted the first week. And here I have the range. So here I'm calculating from the last day of the month before until the last day of the month I want. Right? So far, so good. So I understand it's a lot of manipulation with dates, right? But this is how it works. You manipulate the date function like this. You add to the year because that's how the date function works. And so now you understand why I want you guys to learn about the date function, right? So when I have the range, of my month, I can extract my week. That's why I'm saying most of the time, don't try to do a very super duper smart calculation right away. Like one calc to have the week. You will never do it. Do it progressively. I want to know if I am in next year or not. I want to know the current date. I want to know the current month. I want to know. So you put everything and then you start. Okay, I want my start date. Then I want to know when the year will end. If I pass another year or not. And then I want to calculate the ends of my range. Then I collect the week number. Then I have my range of the entire month, right? And then now I can calculate my stuff. Okay. So this is where the magic lands. Okay. To calculate this. So I have my range, which is my entire month. Okay. So I have my range, which is an entire month. Okay. That's my month. Right. And then what I want to take this, right? So I want the middle value, right? I want the middle value of this. So the middle value, how it works. So how middle value is articulated, middle values. Whatever text I have, so in that case, it's the entire month, okay? Right? I'm starting from the first, right? For that day, from that day, I'm starting here, right? And how many values I want, okay? I want 8 values, 8, okay? Not 7, I want 8 because you want to include, right? You want to include the right stuff. You want to include the what's the name? The day, the last day. Otherwise, you will miss the last day because FileMaker is not inclusive; it's exclusive. You need to add always more to get out, and don't forget that I'm starting always from one day before. Okay, to make sure that I'm including the first day. Okay, so the range, the month, starting from the way, and here this is the magic. Okay, what the magic is. If I'm doing this, right, I'm extracting the first week, right? That's the first week. But if I want the second week, I multiply that by 2, right? So now I have 2 weeks. I have 8 value by 2. I have 16 values. If I want more, I'm saying, okay, I want 3 weeks. I want the third week. So now I have 3 weeks worth of data. If I say 4, now I have 4 weeks worth of data, right? So I'm starting from the beginning and I say, add me. So if I say, I want the week 1, that's week 1. Week 2, that's week 2. So I have 2 weeks. Week 3, I have 3 weeks. 4, I have 4 weeks. And then what do I do with this? Okay. What do I do with this? I always want the last, right? I always want the values, the 8th last value of this, which is this, right? This is my week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my week. The last 8 values of my entire month that middle value gave me. If I say the week 2, this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I want the week 3, bam. This. It doesn't work if you say this. It doesn't work. You never land on the right day. Never. You never land on the right day. If you did this, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It is missing one day. Because if you want to include the first day, you cannot remove that. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If you do this, it won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It won't work. By experience, I know, because now I experienced some problem with this, so that's why I was doing this. But here it doesn't appear to be the case, though. It doesn't. Why I do this, I don't remember, by the way. But anyway, you can do it like this. It doesn't matter. I remember I had a problem with this. That I needed, to make sure I include the first day of the week. I'm going a month. I'm going a day before, and I'm calculating. I'm calculating on 8 days, right? So, to be honest with you, I don't remember why in there. I tried to remember this morning, and I said, why I'm doing this? But that's the reason if I'm doing this. Trust me. Okay. So maybe we'll come back while I'm going to do the explanation here. Okay. So this is what we do. We extract the week. When I have my range here, okay. So I'm surprised we don't have any question, but maybe because people are lost or I don't know. I understand this is it, So, but you don't need to understand how it works, just put your data and that's it, That's it. It's easy, right? It's when you will get the file, you need to extract the week, which makes sense because I said I want the first week. So now that I have this, my range here, how do I get the day? Based on the name. So this is where, and how I can get this period, like, next month, and always landing on the right day, on the right week. Okay. The week, we know how it works, the week, we know how it works because I just demonstrate. We extract the week, right? And then we have a script here, which is, it depends on many things. So let's destroy this. And let's do it quarterly. Okay. I collect my data, as usual, when we do that, right? So we collect the data, the current year, the current month, current week, current day name, all the data I need, and which type of recurrence it is. So here, those, they're here. So I have here the current year, current week, month, day name, recurrence. Okay. And then I need to know the month increments. How many months? So it's that easy. I have a very simple calculation here that do that for me, right? I'm getting the recurrence, and if recurrence is quarterly, it's every 3 months. Okay. And if the recurrence is monthly, is every month, right? So every 3 months and every month, which makes sense. If you want, if I add another one, recurrence equal or be annual, okay, you guessed it, that would be 6. Every 6 months, right? I can do it. It's I can do it. So it's easy to add, something like this. So we can add this, and I can even add this in my list here, right? And I have nothing to change, just this, I add this, so I can do this. Okay. I add this to my list, and that's it. So now I have biannual, quarterly, monthly. Okay. So this is how I'm saying, okay, every 3 months. Then I have the month counts. Okay. How many months, how many times I need to do that? How many times the scripts, the loop will turn. Okay. So for example, for a quarterly, it's 4 times. 4 times 3 months. For monthly is 12 times 1 month, right? And for biannual, it will be 2 times. 2 times 6 months. 4 times 3 months. 12 times 1 month, right? Makes sense, right? So I'm calculating those, based on what I want to do. So how many months it needs to increase and how many times I need to do that until it stops, okay? Now I'm calculating my initial date, the date I want the thing to start, okay? The current year here, right? So we have the current month, right? And I don't really care about the day, right? Because remember, that won't tell me that won't tell me the dates, really, right? So this is just a starting point where I'm putting the current month minus how many months I want to increment. And I'm going to explain why. So I'm starting, you remember FileMaker always like this. You need to start before, because otherwise this won't work. And I'm going to explain why. With the initial date needs to be how many months before. Like if I have a quarterly, I start 3 months before. 3 months, right? Before. Why? Because otherwise this will always start 3 months after, and you will never get the first date. You remember, because I need to say whatever date, right? Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. If I'm starting at the date I want to start, it will say, okay, I'm starting the initial date, but I'm adding 3 months immediately. So you will never get the initial date. Otherwise, you need to have an exception in your stuff. You need to say, oh, if counter equal 1, ignore this, do something else. No, you start 3 months before, and that will land on the right day. Because I start 3 months before, right? And here I'm saying, this is a counter number 1. The counter says counter 1. Okay, I said 1 here. Each loop, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I'm starting here, right? And I'm starting 3 months before. So the initial date, right? The initial date will be here, right? I'm taking the month of initial date plus the month increments, right? And I want the first day on this and the year of initial date. So everything of this, I'm starting here. I'm setting the variable on this, okay? So that's what it's doing, right? So the month increments, right? So I'm adding each time, I'm going to add 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, right? So the first time it will take whatever in this variable. So here we have an interesting case. Why I'm doing this? I'm starting with this initial date variable. And the first time FileMaker here, this step will take whatever in that one, add 3 months or 1 month or 6 months or whatever, right? And declare a new initial date variable based on this one. But at the first loop, that will replace this. Then at the second loop, that will use the initial date from the previous loop, right, to create the new one. So that's how it works. You replace the variable by itself using the data of the previous version of that given variable. So that avoids having complicated things. You understand? Because it replaces itself using the old version. Each time I land here, it takes whatever in the previous loop and create a new one. Then it go back to the loop, use what in the previous loop and do a new one. So I'm doing this, right? I'm doing this, the initial date. So I have the initial date all the time, right? And then here, so each loop, I'm setting the current month, which is always the same, the current week, which is always the same, the day name, which is always the same. But I'm doing that to ensure that everything fine, you know, at the new request, I want that to happen. And then I'm calculating the date based on the month plus the increments of the week and the day, right? So the week we know it's already been done by the auto entry calculation that I showed you before, okay? The week range. So that took care of, you know, showing the week. And this is calculated because I'm putting the current month of the month of this variable. So that means, so I think now we're ready for debugging, okay? I want to do quarterly. Debug. Oops. Okay. I'm getting my stuff, blah, blah, blah. So what that do? Okay. Month count, I have 4 months. And the increment is 3. And the initial date is 12 December 1, 2022. Why start for this one? March 4, 20. Okay. Oh, yeah, because each time I get confused myself. So that's why I wanted to make sure that you guys, I'm starting the initial date. It's the date I want, March minus 3 months. So that is December. Okay. So, and I'm saying counter, I use the counter to stop the loop. When I reach 4, it stops, right? I want to stop the loop, right? Now I'm setting the new initial date. So the initial date was this, but now I'm saying whatever this plus 3 months, boom. Now it's March 1st, 2023. It was December 1st, 2022, because I withdraw 3 months. But now I'm saying, okay, I want to start in March, right? So I'm adding a new request here. I'm setting the current month of that date, the week I want. So this came, the week range, because I have the month and I have the week. So I know I have the month, the week, and the year. So I know my week, not my week. Okay. Now that I have my week and the day name, I have the day name and the week. I can calculate the dates. And the date will be this, the 28th of March. And that's true. Tuesday of the week 4 is the 28th. The week 4 is this. And in this list, the day with the name Tuesday is this day. Right? So let's continue. Now I do this, boom. And I'm adding to the initial dates I have. When initial date? I'm adding 3 months again. So now it's June 1st, 2023. I'm continuing, blah, 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 blah. I have the 4th week of June. And the day name is Tuesday. So the day will be the 27th of June. Because in that list, the one that has Tuesday is the 27th. I continue. I'm adding 3 months again to the same date. Okay. And then I'm doing the same, boom, boom, boom. And then I'm doing, so now I said how many times? 4 times, counter 4. So that will be the last time it will do it. Right? That will be the last time. And loop, close the window. So now I have my stuff. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay? So now let's visit a little bit this calculation here, which is a while function. Okay? I'm starting this. So always you understand how it works. We always use the list of value. I'm taking a list of value, right? And then I'm doing whatever I want with this. So you remember, I have my auto entry calculation that's giving me the week range. Okay? So that we saw that. So it's a little bit tricky, but it's not that tricky, by the way. When you will see it, you will see. Here I'm saying, okay, that my initial date, it is, I'm getting as dates that's very important. I'm getting as dates whatever the first value of that week range. Week range is this. So I want the first value of this, and I want the last value of this. And I think that's why I needed to start the day before. It's because of this. Yeah, it's because of this. Haha. Got it. You remember, and that's the good trick. So listen to me, be carefully. Okay, so now I got it. FileMaker, it's works on looping. We work on looping. We loop. Okay, while is nothing else than a loop in the calculation. For calculation, it's the same. It's doing the same thing. It's looping. Okay, they call it while. I don't know why they should have called loop, but it's okay. It's the same. This here and this is the same. Exactly. It works on the same principle. To initiate the pump, you cannot land on the right date. No, nor I can land on the right date here. I cannot land on the right day here. Because I need to initiate and say date +1. If I start with the first day of the month, here it will say, okay, the first day of the month +1. That means it will start on the 2nd. it will never start on the first, because this will say first plus one. You understand? And each time it will do like the plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one. It will loop. It will loop this. If I start with the first day, that will return the second of the month, not the first. To land on the first, I need to start the day before and say plus one. Okay, I land on the first. That's why my week range need to start a day before. And that's why I need 8 days, not 7. Otherwise, it will forget the last one all the time. Because it's plus 1. Remember, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So here, I'm starting 3 months before, and then I'm adding 3 months. Or I'm starting a month before and I'm adding a month if I'm annually. Or I'm starting 6 months before and I'm adding 6 months for biannual. Here, it's the same scenario, and that's how FileMaker works. And that's a good trick. I give you a good tip, because that avoid if counter equal 1, don't do this, do that. We don't want exceptions. So if you know how FileMaker works, just say, okay, no problem, I know. You need a day before to start the right day, and you need a month before to start the right month, and you need 3 months before to start, So that's what you do. You initiate your date 3 months before, 1 month before, 6 months before, and then you said add more, and then you land, the first loop will land on the current date. Same here for the date value. Okay, so let's continue explain this one. I'm taking the first of my range of my week, and I'm taking the last of my week. So far, so good. It's really fast. It's really simple. The right value of the period and the left value of the period. Then I want the day name, which is my day name. Okay, which I could have called that day name, by the way. Okay, so I'm taking the day name: Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. While needs to declare, so Marge, maybe you can send it to everybody the while function webinar we made. We need to declare all the variable we are going to use in all the calculation here. We need to declare what dates here. We need to declare what max date here. We need to declare what day name here. And we need to declare what the result is, which is here in the occurrence. I need to say it's empty. Then I said this while, I want all of this to work from while this and this is valid. It will do this until the date, the start date and the max date is inferior. When the max date will reach, right, with this won't be true anymore, stop. That means it's not true anymore. Okay? That's why we cannot say that. We cannot, because otherwise it will never do it. While this is true, not when this is true. That's why they call that while. While this is true, do this, but it's not when this is true. Stop. Do it. You understand the difference? So we have a while function webinar, so I don't want to do. So the while function say, take whatever the date, initial date, plus 1. And here I'm saying, when you calculate this, take whatever has, because this will turn like this. We do like a loop, 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 loop. So the first date will be this one. The second one will be whatever the first one said plus one. The other one will say whatever the second said plus one. The first said plus one. And here we say, okay, add the results, give me the results. And if the day name of the dates equal the day name I choose here, then I want it. Then I want the date. If this is not met, I don't want it. So the while we say it will go, the while will go to this and say, if the day name of this, so let's take this. This is what the while we do. I have my list like this. Okay. But I don't know if, okay. So let's start with the first because it's complicated all the way. Oh no, I can do that. I can say whatever get value of my week range, the first. Day name on this is Friday. It's not good. It's not good because it's Tuesday. I want Tuesday. So that's not work. This don't work. This don't work. This don't work. This, oh, that works. So my day is this, 28, because the 28th, the day name of 28 is Tuesday. That the while function does. He said, yes, I'm testing on the day of the day name of that date. If it is equal to the day you want, then in that case, I'm validating your calculation. Otherwise, I switch to another one. You're doing this, the while. The first, no. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. 5, yes. Okay. Stop it. I'm good. I'm good. Stop it. Right? I mean, it continues, right? But it continues, but the only one valid will be this one, right? So when I get this, so now you understand how it works, because the same calc, I can put whatever I want here, So I just build in front of you the biannual. Okay? Bam. That biannual from March on Tuesday on week 4. Biannual. I just build it in front of you. So you declare, so whatever you want to declare your recurrence to be, right? Whatever the recurrence you want, right? Do it. You want every 5 months? You want every, whatever. And if you're smart enough, you can even do that on days. You want every 15 days, every 8 days, you can modify this, but I want to make an example here, right? And to demonstrate how it works. So now, the last thing before the question, how I'm getting the next year. Okay. So here, we have the next year here, right? So it's, so let's say I'm going to, because there's 2 ways to calculate the next year. I just realized it. So it calculates, right? So it takes some time. So if I put that on server, if I'm doing that on server, it will be faster, right? Okay. And here I'm saying next year. Okay. Why? Period table. Right? So how I'm calculating this? Right? Because it's next year. Right? How I know this is next year. Right? So when I calculate this, I have a tag next year. Remember that tag? So that is pure logic. Okay? It's pure logic. First, I'm getting the current, I'm positioning myself here, right? So let's extract that calculation here. That's why I make a webinar, the webinar on dates, because it's not that easy, right? So what is tag next year?
Sorry.
Yeah, I want to finish this first, and then we can do the question. Current month. I need to put that last current month. Okay. Okay. So remember FileMaker always we start before or we start after, it's depending on many things. Here, I want the last record number. So I'm getting the current record number minus 1, which is actually I'm in the first, so it says 0. But when it's 0, I want that to be 1. So I'm getting this, and then I'm saying, if this one is 0, put 1. Otherwise, put whatever this one done. Because if I'm on the third one, this will return 2. So I'm good. It's just the first one. I don't want to be 0 because 0 doesn't exist. So I want 1. So if this returns 0, put 1. Otherwise, put whatever that. So I have my record number. And then I'm using this function, the get ends records. Okay. I want to know, it's important to know, right? If the last record, it's next year. Okay, let me explain. Let's say I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm not doing this. I am not doing the last tag. Okay, so I'm not doing all of this. I'm just saying get current month. How I can do this? Yeah, just this. So just this. Look what happened. So I'm deleting all, and I'm doing it again. So everything fine. And here, bam, it go back to 23. Why? Because I'm saying my calculation here is based like this for the tag. The current month is inferior to the month before. That means here, look what happened. 3, 4, 5. So this is superior, up. And then suddenly it's inferior. That means it's getting back, right? So it's 12. The current month, so 1, is inferior to 12, the month before. So that is next year. Obviously, it's next year because, if I was 12 and suddenly it's 1, or for example, I was on 9, I was in a quarterly, and I went on month 10, for example. And suddenly I'm going to the month 1. So it's next year. Yes, but here, if that will work for that guy here, but here it won't work anymore. Here it won't work anymore. Here it worked. So he said 23. But this, he said, no, it's not next year. It's not next year because this month, 1, the 2 is superior to 1. So it's good. So I'm good with this. So I don't put the tag that is next year because it's not the case. Yes, but no. Because I have my last tag. Is the last month was next year? Yes. Okay, that means all the months that I'm going to create right now from the 1st, the January, all the month now, I'm going to consider them last next year because I passed the threshold. So anything, so that's why I said if last tag, that means if I have it last record, that means it is next year. Otherwise, tell me whatever this to tell me. Okay. If the last tag is real, if it was next year, last record, again, nth record, the record number, that means this one minus 1, then it's a next year. Put next year. It's next year because the one before. So that means if I add another one, it will say, okay, each time since then, since the first, it will say next year, next year, next year, next year. So it will add a year here, right? Because the date here, remember, I have on my week range, I said, oh, the tag next year, right? So I said the current year plus the tag next year. That means, okay, if the tag told me that next year, that means I need to add a year at the current year. So the tag is 1, so I need to add 1 here. Add whatever the tag says. It said 1 here. So I'm adding 1. So that means if this is 23, that will return 24. And that's why I can get my range with 24 here. Because if I put 1 here, what? I cannot because I need to modify the calculation here. Tag. Yeah, see? Okay, so now if I restore this, bam, now is this. And that will be this date, not 23. Because if I say 0 here, he said, oh, no, I cannot. But if I say 0 here, I cannot, because it says the next year. Okay, so never mind. I can now that I have my calculation, it returns what it should return, right? So I know it's a lot to digest, right? But you'll get the file anyway, so don't worry about this, okay? But this is how you calculate, a period as you want, right? And without making crazy thing, because it is not crazy. You collect the data, right? You say whatever this do, 2, 4, 12, whatever this do, 6, 3, 1, and then you have one loop that fits all the recurrence you want, right? So this is a good technique, and you can apply for any type of technique. The set variable of itself that replace itself with the data of the previous loop of that initial date. You remember? That's great because that avoid you have 2 billions variable, right? So, and the while function that you need to get familiar, right? In order to get something that is not crazy, because, and to use the weak range, which is also something that you need to play with the list of values. And now you understand why I need to start a day before. It's because the while we start a day after +1. So okay, so I don't repeat myself. So if we have any question, that now.
We have one big question I definitely want to get to. I have an extra question. It's in Discord, by the way. It's a long question, so you should probably read it while I'm reading it to you. I have an extra question. Table A to parent table B to child up to 20,000 records. I have a script that goes to table B and creates a record. A, there's more than 20 Cray records. You land on B. Edit layout before omitting all the records and create one afterward. Is there a better way to land on B in a lighter manner?
I really don't understand the question, but contact us, please. Whoever on Twitch, support us at rcconsulting.com. Contact us because I didn't understand the questions.
And say it for Nick so we can forward it to him.
Yeah. So we don't have questions. So that means everybody got lost. But anyway, I need
so that the extra Q&A day will be useful, I think. So I think I'll get then.
Yeah, I understand. We can do that tomorrow. What was tomorrow topic on
Tomorrow's topic is continuation of this, unless you finish it.
No, I don't. But I can skip. Unfortunately, that's why I wanted to do that webinar on the dates because I understand I added many complexity because I want a week, but I want to show you guys what my customer are asking me, right? So that's a real case scenario that I did like a month ago. So what is the topic for tomorrow?
Give me a second. Tomorrow is manipulating dates and time frames, day 3. So.
Yeah, week selector, create time frame based on specific month, week and month where they're week of the. Yeah, I did that today, by the way.
Okay.
The quarterly, how to deal with month, how to create schedule. Okay, that was today. Create time frame based on the specific month, week, and okay. Yeah, that was covered pretty much today. How to create a week selector. Yeah, that's easy. So I can. Tomorrow we do
is creating a time. Okay, I went back and looked for it because it's cutting off for some reason. Creating time frame based on specific month, week of the month, the day of the week, and year, and how to create a week-based selection.
Yeah, that pretty much I've done it today, so it's covered. So and how to create a week selector based, week selector, something you can click and select. How to build something like this, something that you have this. Right, and you can select. Oh, I want that day. Oh, I want that day. But it shows you that week. Okay, so I'm going to do that tomorrow, and we have the Q&A. So if you have a Q&A, I understand. It's I wanted to showcase something that I have. That was a question. That was something I need to build, and this is what we come from. And of course, it needs to be extremely accurate and extremely robust, right? So that's why we did that, right? But you will get the file, by the way,
Yes.
Right?
So yeah. I'm lost. I need to see the webinar again and try the demo file. So maybe you could recap kind of tomorrow. Try to go.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do a recap tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's so talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yes, no. Thank you everyone for coming. We appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Nick. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
individual up here who maybe a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.